got some exciting stuff going on. I'm going to show you how to make beefy nachos. Now, college students are oftentimes on a budget. We often have time constraints. We work jobs, we study, we have school, and then we actually have lives. So when you come to think about it, we don't have that much time to cook. So what I'm going to show you today is one of the fastest, cheapest, easiest ways to feed yourself. So just to kind of get started, I'm going to introduce my ingredients here. You're going to need some type of tortilla chip. Now, you can use rounds, you can use strips, you can use squares, you can use stars, you can use whatever you want. It doesn't matter what shape it is as long as it's a chip. It's good. Doesn't matter what brand either. I prefer these just because they're awesome. I think they taste different, but they probably don't really. It's just what I prefer. So after the chips, you're going to need some queso. I like any type of queso, but I have a nice little Mexican mix here. Shredded, I usually use just one package, will probably work fine for a pan to feed like 2 to 3 people. You're going to need some meat. I have chosen beef fajita meat. You can substitute the beef fajita meat for absolutely anything you want. You can do chicken, you can do ground beef, you can do no meat if you prefer, but I love me some meat, so I chose that. And then you're going to need some beans, just some regular refried beans. Doesn't mean you have to use beans if you don't want to, but this is how this recipe goes. So refried beans. And then, this is very optional, picante sauce. I like it a little hot. You can get mild, you can get extra hot. Doesn't matter. You don't even have to use it. But I really prefer some hot picante sauce. You can also add stuff like sour cream, guacamole, pico, whatever you want. So to get things started, we're going to take a little pan here for baking. I like to put tin foil over it just so it makes cleanup a lot easier. That way you don't get nasty crusties stuck to the pan and you're not having to sit there and, you know, just beat it to death to try to get it off. So that's why I use the tin foil. Now the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you have some cooked meat. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this meat, we're going to put it in this pan, and then we're going to put it on our little oven over here, and it's going to cook. We want to make sure that it gets nice and brown. We don't want to be giving anybody food poisoning. So we're going to let that cook over there for now, and then we're going to start with the first layer of our nachos. So open up your bags. Just kind of dump some chips out there. You can use as many as you want. I like to get a good thick covering first. And you're just going to spread them out all even so you have a good bottom layer so none of your queso or beans stick to just the tin foil. Okay, so I'd call that a good layer, pretty even. And like I said, you can just pile these on here if you want, but you don't want to put too many on there because then you might not get any good stuff on the bottom chips. But when we come back from the break, I'm going to start showing you how to do everything else, so stay with us.
Do you want salon gorgeous nails without the expensive salon price? Well, now you can have it with the at-home manicure station. Simply pour the nail polish of your choice into the color reservoir, place your hands on the sensor pad inside the nail chamber, and after 30 seconds, you have beautifully salon-painted nails that are instantly dry. The at-home manicure station works with any brand of nail polish in any color and is a breeze to clean up. The at-home manicure.
Welcome back, guys. We are making beefy nachos, and right before the break, I explained everything that we're going to be using, and I showed you how to put your base layer of chips down on your pan. So we're going to come over here And we're gonna check our meat. And it looks nice and done now. You wanna make sure it's nice and brown, no pink, no nasty E. coli and nasty food germs. So we're just gonna dump that back in there. We're gonna turn our oven off. Make sure you always turn off the oven. Don't wanna start any fires. So we'll do that and we're done with that. And so now we're gonna put our beans on. You can use a spoon, you can use a spatula thing, whatever you wanna do. Just kind of stir up your beans. And this is the part that I have a lot of problems with. A lot of times beans don't want to spread right for me, so you just gotta kind of plop them down all over the place and hope it works out. This is also the messiest part of the process. Just get them all in there. Usually helps if the beans are really hot also. That way they spread easier. And so you take your little thing, and honestly I might really not be good at this, but I promise the end result looks really good. So we're sitting here and we're spreading some beans and we're having difficulties, but that's fine. You get the idea, right? Chips and then beans. Okay, so I'm gonna be done with that for right now. Stick that in my dirty pan over here. The next thing that you want to put on here is a little bit of cheese. So you just take it and we're gonna sprinkle a lot of cheese on there. And make sure you save like half of it because I like to top it off with cheese and it gets all melted and delicious. And then you take your meat and you kind of do the same thing. Okay. My hands are clean, guys, I promise. Okay. So then you have your meat. Ta-da! And then I like to just put all the cheese that I have left back on it. And we sprinkle. If I see any yellow, that tells me that I need more cheese. Any chip. Ta-da. So as you can see, we have a pretty gracious layer of cheese right here. Delicious. And then comes the good stuff. Jalapenos. Some of you may not like jalapenos, but I love me some jalapenos. So I'm going to put them all over this. Just like so. Okay. Might have went a little jalapeno crazy, but that's okay. So this is what it should look like before you put it in the oven. Now, what you're gonna need to do to cook these is preheat your oven to about 350 degrees. And you're gonna stick it in there, and it really takes less than 10 minutes. All you need to do is just keep an eye on it. Make sure that the cheese is melting nice and it's bubbly and the jalapenos are starting to look real crisp and delicious. And then you can take it out based on how melted you like your cheese. So you stick it in there for about 10 minutes and then you have some beefy nachos. They're gonna look real nasty and mushy, but that just means it's delicious. It means that that is a pile of queso goodness, and you have a successful plate of beefy nachos. It is cheap, it is easy, and it is fun to do. Come back next time.